ديعك والمسجد كذلك. تفضل. وإياكم. كيف يعني؟ هل النبي can the prophet be punished يعني؟ علينا أو عليكم؟ هذا السبب. وما كان الله. Allah will not punish you if you what? How? وأنت فيهم. So يعني البحث الآن عصيان قوم يعني the people's disobedience will the prophet, can you say the prophet is going to be with them even though he's their leader and he's among them? Well, but can you say he didn't disobey but they? We're talking Nabi though. فهمت the or not? وإياكم. طيب, are there any questions before we stop, guys?
We got a lot of questions, Chef.
تفضل.
What is your opinion on some articles from from Quran.com?
I don't know about Quran.com. I've never read it, so I can't give you my opinion about it.
Can we read something?
No time right now. Fadl, if you got something brief, but not a whole article is what I mean.
Just says, in order to understand the subject matter of this surah well, it is necessary to have a look at the history of the Medina and the Hijaz Jews. For without it, one cannot know precisely the real causes of the Holy Prophet's dealing with their different tribes the way he did. No authentic history of the Arabian Jews exists in the world. They have not left any writing of their own in the form of a book, a tablet, which might throw light on their past, nor the Jewish historians and writers of the non-Arabs world made any mention of them. The reason being that their settlement in the Arabian Peninsula had detached themselves from the main body of the nation, and the Jews of the world did not count them as amongst themselves.
They detached themselves.
For they have given up the Hebrew culture and language, even the names, and adopted Arabism instead. In the tablets that have been unearthed in the archaeological research in the Hijaz, no trace of the Jews is found before the 1st century of the Christian era, except for a few Jewish names. Therefore, the history of the Arabian Jews is based mostly on the verbal traditions prevalent among the Arab, most of which has been spread by the Jews themselves. A little bit deeper.
Jazakallah khairan. Clear. Barakallahu fikum. Fawaid, la shak. History, seerah, tafsir, it's all connected. Absolutely.
It talks down back to Palestine.
All roads lead to Rome.
Palestine.
Next question. Even that, if you want to get technical, Rome, Philistines.
Philistine.
Oh. طيب. تفضل. To ish? Where? To argue? Well, it depends on the nature of your argument. Argument is a general word, a general term. Argument could be munaqasha, munadhara, ilmiya, with respect. Raising your voice, cursing, threatening. أطلق لم يقيد. لا يلزم عليه شيخ حج. It's also being put in the PDF. Masjid Tawheed endorses you, not just him, but what? Masjid Tawheed. They He gave this khutbah in Masjid Tawheed with the address in Brooklyn, New York. الله المستعان. طيب لا نقطة ثالثة أبدا. طيب from Molan Abu Naila.
Bismillah. Initials DA from Phoenix, Arizona. How do we respond to people who say there isn't a verse that says wear a burqa or a hijab?
Next question. We don't respond to that. You don't have to wear burqa. You don't have to wear hijab. You can dress naked. You can do whatever you want. You can be a perfect Muslim by not covering yourself. Your hair can blow in the wind. Do whatever. On the Yawm al-Qiyamah, you will know who was right and who was wrong. It's that simple. There's no coercion in the religion. La ikraha fi din. If you don't want to wear hijab, hijab is not from the Quran, it's chauvinistic. Or as one sheikh, I think he was Bosnian, I'm not sure. He said the wearing the niqab is a Wahhabi tradition. Maybe he's right. But one thing's for sure, on Yawm al-Qiyamah, what? Everybody will know. So give it a shot. Bismillah. Blow the dice, throw them. Next question.
Initials KB from Montreal, Canada. Should a seeker of knowledge use AI? It feels a bit more controversial than when
Should a student of knowledge use AI? Absolutely. A student of knowledge should employ and utilize what Allah has given him. AI, Google is no different than books. Just because something is in a book does not mean that it's authentic. These 3 volumes could be full of lies and inaccuracies. This is another mental trap and fallacy. So back in, some years ago, it was Google. It wasn't before AI. This deep. It's Sheikh Google, right? Some professors were against it. You can't use it before Google. Maktab Shamila. Maybe before your day, Sheikh Ahmed. When it first came out in a CD form, where you couldn't download it. It was a CD-ROM or whatever. You can't use it. بالله عليك هل أحد من المشايخ يقول هذا الكلام اليوم؟ هل يستطيع أحد من الباحثين أن يقول ما مستحيل. وكذلك Google, is there anyone who's saying that they can't or won't or has never used it or benefited from it? And Google is now considered what? Shadowed. The AI is haka the dunya. So just because I use AI or Google or computer doesn't mean that I rely upon it. And one of the benefits of the search engine is that it sparks, or it may help you what you already have, or you get the exact wording of it. So I'm looking for a book, the medieval Oxford, but I got one word wrong. It was the modern, but now the medieval. So it's a tool. So there's one hammer, but there are 4 carpenters, 1 screwdriver, 1 saw. Those carpenters aren't the same. He can build an entire house off of what? 1 tool. And this man, he can barely hit the nail without breaking his thumb. So it's a tool. You have to learn how to use it. You have to learn how to benefit from it. Also, if you look at the AI overview, it gives you the sources. Yes, you can go back to the sites and then do further research, agree or disagree. It's ikhtisar, it's a nubdha. It's a summary over what? View. As far as you using AI to write a khutbah for you, some brothers do that. There's nothing wrong with that. We won't make, Sheikh Ahmed does it for sure. He's an innovator. Sheikh Jassan, Masjid Tawheed as well. Yeah, he's stealing, cheating, lying in Allah's name on the minbar. Walakin, the rest of the people, if you used it for a khutbah, you don't gotta rely on it 100%. But it can assist you. That he's my assistant. I wrote the story, but Amjad came along and he helped me. He was my assistant. He co-produced it, co-wrote it. Everyone understand this? Last but not least is the benefits of AI. It shows you what's out there, and it shows you the bias that exists. That's a fact. And obviously the golden rule is, if you want to know who rules over you, look to who you can and cannot criticize. End of discussion. Fadl. That's a fa'idah. You go back and you see that it's kadhib. So now you know what's out there. Now you have the awareness to pick that up, the average person. So that's a benefit. Now you warn the people, beware of so on and so forth. So you gotta go back to the source, and that's Ilmul Hadith. Ilmul Hadith teaches you to go back to the isnad. Where are you getting the information from? I trust you, Jibreel, but who's your guy? And who's his guy? Until you get to the source. Faddal.
Initials AN from DC. Can you use an inhaler for asthma while fasting?
Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, inshallah, yes.
Initials DA from Phoenix, Arizona. I asked you this a few months ago. I'm asking not only to learn for myself, but also for giving da'wah. Initials KB from Montreal, Canada. Sometimes I'm shy and avoid reading Islamic books on the bus, but I spent more than 3 hours doing transit. Is my shyness cowardice?
You're shy, meaning like you're embarrassed, or you don't want to look like, it depends on what you mean by being shy. If you can't read a book, listen to something. Put in some AirPods or something, earbuds, whatever. But what's important is information. The information getting into your mind and your heart. With your eyes or your ears. That's all that matters. And that's also very important advice with regards to knowledge seekers and the everyday Muslim. You're doing something, painting, mowing the lawn, whatever you're doing, you just what? Bang. And that's a way of you benefiting and getting and reviewing knowledge. Quran, Hadith, lecture, surah, class, you listen to it. And just look how Allah made easy for you this ummah. Once again, just imagine if you didn't have no headphones. Sometimes your hands, you can't read the book, but you what? Imagine back in the day, all that hard labor they had to do. No headphones. Imagine that, Sheikh. So it's a fa'idah. What's important is get the information to your mind. As far as if you want to read and you're sitting for a very long time, what do you mean by shy and why are you shy? What are you afraid or are you scared? What's the source of the problem? Wallahu alam. Fadl. Ahmed. La ikraha fi din. I think this is, Sheikh Ahmed, you tell me if you agree or disagree, and obviously that will, if you disagree, that'll be another point against you. And Masjid Tawheed. Many scholars from the Salaf and others, many ulama, they say ayah mansukha, that verse was abrogated. It's no longer applicable, the ruling. And that there is ikrah fi din. So many say that verse nusikhat bi ayat ish al-qalam, the pen, right? That verse was abrogated with the verses of the what? Of the jihad al-nafs, yani. Many scholars, they say that verse was abrogated with the verses that talk about the safe, the sword, that there is ikrah fi din. And others, they say bal hiya muhkama ghayru mansukha. It hasn't been abrogated, but you can't force a person to believe, even if you do enforce the law. You can't force a person to accept. We don't know. Only Allah knows what's in the hearts of the people. What's important is, I'm not coercing you in a religion, but if I'm your father, I have a job to tell you what's right and what's wrong. And I have a job to reward you and to punish you and to discipline you. You're my son. Wife, brother, whatever, big brother, whatever the relationship is. So if I have some authority over you, yo, get your stuff together. You're not my dad. I know I'm not, but I'm your bigger brother. And you doing something wrong, it's my job to stop you physically. And if not, how can I truly love you? Is it really transparent, Ahmed? I see you doing something wrong and I don't say nothing about it? So you do have to enforce. Once again, the people who are against this verse, or the weak-willed, soft-shelled turtles, that just go along with everything that the kuffar tell them, the kuffar themselves believe in what? We're going to force him to submit. We're going to force democracy. Who said that we want a democracy? How is it lawful for you to go to a sovereign country and force a system of government upon them? That in the English language is called what? You coerced them. You forced them. So once again, stop the hypocrisy and don't be a follower of someone who is clearly hypocritical with a triple standard. Wallahul musta'an. Can't have a soft shell, huh? Fadl.
Ali from Canada.
Next question.
Initials MU from Buffalo, New York. What does the word labbaik mean in Arabic? I've heard Shias use it for their imams, and I've heard Sunnis use it during Umrah or Hajj. Can you define it? And is it shirk to say it to a human?
Brother Mahad will answer this question. He's a specialist in the Shiism, inshallah. Next question, Hafiz. Al-Muhim labbaik doesn't mean shirk. It doesn't have to be shirk. Yeah. Someone asks you for something or say, yeah, you say, labbaik, I'm here for you. Like, tell me what to do. Doesn't have to mean shirk. Many things don't necessitate shirk unless you add other things to them, add-ons. I'm relying on you. I'm waiting on you. I'm trusting you but I'm trusting you for something that's supernatural, above the normal means of the human being. Now tawakkul is now what? That's what? That's shak, i'timad, tafweed. You're my guy, Ahmed. I'm waiting for you to take care of it. Take care of such and such. And you're human what? Huwa. Wallahu alam. I called upon you in the class. What? I did what? So the word call upon is supposed to be what? For who? Wallahu alam.
Initials AJ from Luxembourg. Is it allowed to have children theater playing Sahaba, angels, or shaitan?
A play in which there are Sahaba, I wouldn't do. I would avoid. As far as angels and demons, Stanley, that's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope. Concepts, don't use people. Don't use the humans. Use something else. If you want to represent shaitan or evil, you can use something else. You can use a sound effect or a color or something. They don't, dim the lights or whatever the case may be. It doesn't have to be a person. And obviously, what is the ruling on having plays and human? That's a different discussion. Wallahu alam.
Initials KB from Montreal, Canada. Are books superior to lectures? I feel guilty for always being on YouTube and not being nose deep into the books.
Benefit however you can. However, if you want to be complete, you cannot be complete until you learn and benefit from all means. It's that simple. So the book, the listening, the watching, it's full circle. Wallahu alam.
Initials PA from Birmingham, UK. Assalamu alaikum, please don't take this with any disrespect, but if you don't mind me asking, why don't you put out refutation videos of certain figures in America and in the English language?
Why don't I put out refutations?
Of certain figures in America.
We have.
And in the English language.
Sheikh Ahmed of Masjid Tawheed, we've refuted tonight several times. Oh, and the likes. And what? And the likes. Next question.
Initials AZ from Somerset, New Jersey. Initials AZ from Somerset, New Jersey. Assalamu alaikum. Is it permissible to get a life insurance?
Having life insurance, it's like any other type of insurance. It's either all haram, all halal, or it depends. The nature of the insurance, why you have that insurance, the level of insurance, the general rule of commercial insurance, the general rule, whatever, house, boat, car, any type of commercial mainstream insurance is haram. And the reason why it's haram is because it includes many cons. All types of cons, whether it be riba, gharar, jahala, exploitation, etc. However, there may be a time in which you having commercial insurance is a necessity. And there are other times which is not a necessity, but it's a need, a haja, muliha. It's a need for you to have it. It's not life and death, but you're clearly going to be harmed, and they're going to squeeze you tightly if you don't have it. And obviously there are types and there are levels of insurance. But one thing's for sure, I'll say this, the last thing I'll say, once again, we have to stop being hypocritical in Islamic scholarship. So there are different, people who say, oh, life insurance, I've seen it on my own, haram, just like that. Yeah, Sheikh, can you show me your wallet? Billah alayk, please. Can you show me your wallet? You open up the wallet. Can I see your insurance card? The Sheikh drives off from the conference with a what?
Expired, bro.
So how is it lawful for you to have car insurance? Isn't it possible for you to drive? The carpool? Then obviously the driver has car insurance. This ta'awun ala itham wal udwan. Can't you take a bike? A bicycle? Can't you walk? Can't you get on the train or the bus? But you don't. Why? Why do you have an automobile? Why do you have car insurance? Because what? It's either a necessity or what's the difference between the car and business? For you, it's not a necessity, but for me, it's what? La shak. I have business, I have to. A restaurant being open. I'll never ever forget, remember we were in the Yemeni cafe? Our guy, he said, yeah, Sheikh, what's the ruling on, the mortgages and the houses? Sheikh Fulan, yaqul, wa. And I asked him as we were ordering our lamb chops, I said, is this restaurant insured? You're in downtown Brooklyn. He said, Taban, of course it is. It wouldn't be open. I said, yeah, we'll have the Baba Ganoush with the lamb chops too. Simple as that. This is haram there, but what? Not here. What's this game that we're playing? Why do you need life insurance? Have tawakkul. Why do you need car insurance? What? Have tawakkul.
Be a sovereign.
Why do you need business insurance? Have what? Tawakkul. Why do you need health insurance? To use what? Tawakkul. You get hurt, you get injured, say Bismillah. You don't have to go to the doctors. You don't have to go to the hospital. What's the chances of you needing to go to the hospital, Ahmed? How many times? But you make sure you have what? So you gotta be consistent in your rulings. Insurance is unlawful unless there is, and A, B, C, D can apply to car, boat, etc., based off of the need. Wallahu a'lam.
Initials AL from Brooklyn.
What part of Brooklyn?
Which Brooklyn?
We need to know.
Which Brooklyn?
We need to know. Is it? Yeah, we need clarity. What's his
they
neighborhood?
got other
What's it-
places in Brooklyn.
What's his mantiqa of the masjid?
AL. Let's see. This is his first time.
Speak, Yahi. Don't act like you
This is
can't
his
speak
first
now.
time, huh?
He got you speaking a lot, saying all types of things. Allahu Akbar. Huh? Flatbush? Right. Are you in proximity to Masjid Tawheed or not?
Yeah, Allah.
If you're in a 30-mile radius, we won't answer the question. Until he repents publicly, openly, 12-page PDF, Times New Roman font. Fadal.
Is the term Wahhabi derogatory?
Mahad, what you think about that? Is it derogatory? Allah. Translate that for us, brother, in English.
Urdu.
He's being stingy with the fawaid. Allahumma musta'an. Ala kulli hal, at the end of the day, this will be our last question tonight. The term Wahhabi. Much can be said, much has been said about the term. Let us not forget that Al-Wahhab is one of Allah Azza wa Jall's Asma'ul Husna. So you gotta slow down, just what? A little shwaya, pump your brakes a little bit. Najdi, no problem. Call him a Najdi anthropomorph, no mushkila, no problem. But Wahhabi, it's Allah's name, so you need to just be a little careful. Number two, if you disagree with someone for a belief or a theory or a practice, that's fine. Human nature. But disapprove, disagree, criticize, refute based off of facts. And the spirit of the Quran is not to insult others and to hurl names at people. You're not supposed to insult Muslims. You're not supposed to call a Muslim a name. All right? So I disagree with you because of verse, hadith, title, and then that's it. I mean, where's that going to lead? Okay, if I'm a Wahhabi, then you're what? A such and such. And a such and such and a such and such, then what? What does the Prophet ﷺ tell us about one of the greatest sins? It's for a man to curse his what? And yal'ana rajulu walidayhi, the curse his own parents. The Sahaba could not understand this. How can a man, and he said that one man does what? And then he retaliates. So you call someone a Wahhabi, no problem, I can find a million names to call you. And then you what? And then next thing you know, we have number 3. What determines or defines a Wahhabi? What? Practice of the deen? Bukhari, Muslim, Lu'lu Marjan, we read, that's full beard. Okay, where does a Muslim get a full beard from? We understand, let's see, who is this going to get thrown on? It's coming to you, Ahmed. We understand that it's totally, the madhab say that you can, totally, your beard can be as shadowy as possible, as long as you have hair on your face. That's what the hadith means. When the Prophet ﷺ said, let the beard grow, it means what? Have hair on your face. That's what the Prophet meant. Okay, no problem. That's what the madhabs say. So I can shave my face as close, as long as it's what? I have hair on my face. All right, no problem. Tayyib, the madhabs come before the clear, authentic hadiths. No problem. We accept that. But where does a Muslim, a Wahhabi, having a full beard come from? Is this something he just made up? He just dreamt of it? Is this some type of fantasy? Is there an origin to it? And what is that origin? What's that origin? Is it Bukhari and Muslim? So if a person has a full beard as a Wahhabi, why is that? Is that a practice of the deen or is that Wahhabism? A person says this is haram, this is shirk, you can't do this, you can't pray towards a grave, you can't. Is that Quran, Sunnah, or Muhammad bin Abdul Wahhab? Last but not least, what did Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab come and bring with that was new, for argument's sake? That which is from his own ijtihad, his own theory, no problem. But if he came with 100 different points of his movement and his followers, and if 97 or 98 or 99 of those points were adopted by scholars who came 1,000 years before him, is it intellectual to call that Wahhabism? Or these specific points that he, for argument's sake, brought and made up, no scholar before him mentioned, and then he was harsh upon them, we can say, then this is what? But if he's saying the same thing that Imam Abu Hanifa said, or Imam Ahmed, or for argument's sake, Ibn Qayyim, Ibn Taymiyyah, how is it a Wahhabi thing? Isn't that a little blunt, intellectually? It's lacking intelligence. And I think that 99% of people who use the term have no clue. And if you just took these simple points, and there are other points, and sat them down and forced them to respond and to answer, 9 out of 10 people who use the term would not. And they would probably force themselves out of the chair by calling you don't take it from me, but take the Pepsi challenge. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala surely knows best, and with him is all success. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.